What happens when two sworn enemies are forced to journey together through the unforgiving American frontier? Hostiles takes us on a harrowing journey of survival, redemption, and the human spirit, set against the backdrop of the rugged, unforgiving landscape of the American West in 1892. This isn't just a Western. It's a haunting exploration of the darkness that resides within the human soul and the slivers of light that can sometimes break through. At the heart of Hostiles is the story of Army Captain Joseph Blocker, played with intense, brooding complexity by Christian Bale. Blocker is a man hardened by years of relentless conflict with Native American tribes, harboring a deep-seated hatred for those he has been fighting against his entire career. When Blocker is tasked with a mission he can't refuse, escorting a dying Cheyenne war chief, Yellow Hawk West Studi, and his family back to their tribal lands in Montana, he's confronted with a challenge far more grueling than any battle. The mission forces him to confront his own prejudices, the ghosts of his past, and the brutal reality of the world he lives in. The journey that unfolds is one of the most grueling and emotional treks depicted in recent cinema. The group must navigate a treacherous path through the wilderness, facing threats not only from hostile Comanche war parties but also from the raw elements of nature itself. As Blocker and Yellow Hawk are forced to travel side by side, the tension between them is palpable. Their interactions are charged with unspoken histories, and their journey becomes as much about inner survival as it is about making it to Montana alive. Hostiles delves deep into the moral complexities of war. Blocker, who has spent his life hunting men like Yellow Hawk, is a character steeped in violence and hatred. Yet, as the journey progresses, we see the cracks in his hardened exterior. He is a man haunted by the atrocities he has committed in the name of duty, and his hatred for Yellow Hawk slowly gives way to a reluctant respect. The film doesn't shy away from showing the horrors of war and the toll it takes on those who fight it. Blocker is not a hero in the traditional sense. He's a man broken by years of conflict, grappling with the guilt and trauma that comes with it. Yellow Hawk, on the other hand, is portrayed with quiet dignity by West Studi, as a leader who has seen the decimation of his people and is now facing his own mortality. Yellow Hawk's presence is a stark reminder of the costs of war. He, too, is a man who has taken lives, and the weight of his actions sits heavy on him. Yet, unlike Blocker, Yellow Hawk seems to have made peace with his past, understanding that there is more to life than the endless cycle of violence. The film portrays him not just as a warrior, but as a father and a leader who is trying to secure a future for his people, even as his own life ebbs away. The themes of reconciliation and redemption are central to Hostiles. The film asks whether it's possible to find common ground between sworn enemies, and whether the cycle of hatred can ever truly be broken. Blocker's journey with Yellow Hawk is a microcosm of the larger struggles of the time, where the brutal clashes between Native Americans and settlers left scars that would last for generations. The film doesn't offer easy answers, but instead presents a stark, unflinching look at the possibility of reconciliation, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable hatred. Visually, Hostiles is a masterpiece. The cinematography by Masanobu Takayanagi is nothing short of stunning. The vast, untamed landscapes of the American West are captured in all their rugged beauty and danger. From the sweeping plains to the jagged mountain ranges, the setting is almost a character in itself, reflecting the harsh realities the characters must endure. The film's visual style is both stark and poetic, with long, lingering shots that allow the audience to fully absorb the world these characters inhabit. The cinematography doesn't just serve as a backdrop. It amplifies the story's themes of isolation, struggle, and the small moments of grace that punctuate the journey. One of the most striking aspects of Hostiles is how it juxtaposes moments of brutal violence with scenes of quiet introspection. The film opens with a brutal attack on a homestead by a Comanche war party, a scene that immediately sets the tone for the violence that pervades the story. Yet, this brutality is balanced with moments of stillness and reflection, where the characters confront their inner demons and the weight of their past actions. The film's pacing allows these moments to breathe, giving the audience time to process the emotional and psychological toll of the journey. Hostels also tackles the theme of survival, both physical and emotional. The characters are constantly battling the elements, the threats from other humans, and their own inner turmoil. This isn't a journey of triumph, but one of endurance. Each character carries their own scars, some visible, others buried deep within, and the journey forces them to confront the darkness within themselves. It's a brutal, unflinching look at the human condition, but it's also a story about the possibility of finding some semblance of peace, even in the most unlikely of places. The film's score, composed by Max Richter, is another highlight. It's haunting and evocative, perfectly complementing the film's themes of loss, redemption, and the relentless march of time. The music adds an additional layer of emotional depth, particularly in the more introspective moments of the film, where it underscores the characters' inner struggles. In terms of performances, Christian Bale is nothing short of exceptional. His portrayal of Joseph Blocker is a masterclass in restrained intensity. Bale conveys the character's inner turmoil through subtle expressions and body language, making Blocker a deeply compelling and complex figure. Wes Studi's performance as Yellow Hawk is equally powerful. Studi brings a quiet strength and dignity to the role, making Yellow Hawk a character who commands respect and empathy. The supporting cast, including Rosamund Pike as Rosalie Quaid, also delivers strong performances, adding layers of depth to the story. Hostels is not an easy film to watch. It's a dark, unflinching exploration of the human soul, set against the backdrop of a brutal and unforgiving landscape. Yet, it's also a film that offers moments of profound beauty and emotional resonance. It challenges the audience to confront uncomfortable truths about the past and the human capacity for violence and hatred. But within that darkness, there are also moments of light glimpses of the possibility of redemption and the fragile hope for a better future. In Hostels, the heart of the film beats strongest through its characters, particularly the complex and tormented Captain Joseph Blocker, portrayed by Christian Bale, and the stoic yet deeply human Chief Yellow Hawk, played by Wes Studi. As the narrative unfolds, the evolution of these characters takes center stage, transforming what could have been a standard Western into a profound exploration of redemption, forgiveness, and the weight of human suffering. Captain Joseph Blocker is introduced as a man forged in the fire of relentless warfare. He is a soldier through and through, having spent years in brutal conflict with Native American tribes, and his hatred for them is visceral, almost primal. Bale brings an intensity to Blocker that is both terrifying and mesmerizing. From the first moment we meet him, it's clear that this is a man carrying the burden of countless battles, both external and internal. His stoicism hides a soul scarred by the horrors he's witnessed and perpetrated, and Bale's performance ensures that this pain is palpable in every scene. As the film progresses, Blocker's journey is not just physical but deeply emotional. He is forced to confront the very people he has spent his life despising, and this confrontation brings about a slow, painful transformation. Blocker is a man who has lived by a code one that doesn't allow for the kind of empathy or understanding that his mission with Chief Yellow Hawk demands. Bale masterfully portrays this internal struggle, where Blocker's hatred begins to crack under the weight of shared suffering and the realization that his enemy is, at the end of the day, just another man. On the other side of this fraught relationship is Chief Yellow Hawk, played with quiet dignity by Wes Studi. Yellow Hawk is a man facing his mortality, yet he carries himself with a strength that commands respect. Studi's performance is subtle but powerful, imbuing Yellow Hawk with a gravitas that speaks volumes even in the character's silences. Yellow Hawk is more than just a symbol of the Native American plight. He is a fully realized character with his own past, his own regrets, and his own wisdom. As the journey progresses, the initial hostility between him and Blocker gives way to a mutual respect born of shared hardship and the acknowledgement of each other's humanity. The transformation in Blocker is mirrored by Yellow Hawk, who, despite his own suffering, reaches out in an attempt to bridge the divide between them. Studi's performance here is nothing short of remarkable. He conveys a depth of emotion that adds layers to the character, making him not just a figure of sympathy, but a man of deep complexity. Yellow Hawk's dignity in the face of death and his ability to forgive the unforgivable is what ultimately forces Blocker to reassess his own beliefs and actions. The dynamic between these two men is the film's core, and it is through their evolving relationship that the film explores its themes of reconciliation and redemption. But Hostiles isn't just about these two characters. The supporting cast also delivers performances that add significant emotional depth to the story. Rosamund Pike as Rosalie Quaid is particularly noteworthy. Her character, a grieving widow who has suffered an unimaginable loss at the hands of a Comanche war party, is a portrayal of grief and resilience. Pike's performance is raw and unfiltered, capturing the essence of a woman who has been shattered by tragedy yet refuses to be broken. Rosalie's journey from despair to finding a reason to keep going is one of the film's most poignant arcs, and Pike handles it with a grace that never feels forced or overly sentimental. Through Rosalie, the film examines the broader impact of the violence that pervades the frontier. Her character serves as a reminder that the pain of war and conflict extends far beyond the battlefield. It reaches into homes and tears apart lives, leaving scars that may never fully heal. Pike's performance ensures that this pain is never glossed over. It's raw, it's real, and it's a crucial part of what makes Hostiles such an emotionally resonant film. The rest of the supporting cast, including Rory Cochrane as Master Sergeant Metz and Jesse Plemons as Lieutenant Kidder, also contribute to the film's emotional weight. Cochrane's portrayal of Metz, a soldier grappling with the psychological toll of a lifetime of violence, is particularly affecting. Metz's quiet despair and eventual breakdown serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of the endless cycle of war. Plemons, on the other hand, brings a youthful idealism to his role, which stands in contrast to the weary cynicism of Blocker and Metz. Together, the supporting characters flesh out the world of Hostiles, adding depth and nuance to the story. One of the most compelling aspects of Hostiles is how it handles the moral complexities faced by its characters. The film doesn't offer easy answers or clear distinctions between right and wrong. Instead, it delves into the gray areas where these characters live, forcing both them and the audience to grapple with uncomfortable questions. Blocker's struggle to reconcile his past actions with his growing respect for Yellow Hawk is emblematic of this moral complexity. He is a man who has committed atrocities in the name of duty, yet as he gets to know Yellow Hawk, he begins to see the futility of the hatred that has driven him for so long. This moral ambiguity is a central theme in Hostiles, challenging the audience to reconsider their own perceptions of justice, revenge, and forgiveness. The film doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of the time violence, prejudice, and the relentless pursuit of survival, but it also offers glimpses of a world where understanding and reconciliation are possible, even in the most unlikely of circumstances. The performances in Hostiles are nothing short of extraordinary. Christian Bale delivers one of his most intense performances, fully embodying the character of Joseph Blocker with a depth that makes his transformation feel both inevitable and heartbreaking. Wes Studi's portrayal of Chief Yellow Hawk is equally powerful, bringing a quiet strength to a character who could have easily been reduced to a stereotype. Together, their performances create a dynamic that is the emotional heart of the film. But it's not just the leads who shine. Rosamund Pike, Rory Cochrane, and Jesse Plemons, along with the rest of the supporting cast, all contribute to a film that is as much about the collective experience of its characters as it is about the individual journeys of Blocker and Yellow Hawk. Each actor brings something unique to the table, ensuring that every character, no matter how small their role, adds to the film's rich tapestry. In Hostiles, the characters aren't just players in a story, they are the story. Their journeys, both physical and emotional, are what drive the narrative forward, and it is through their eyes that we see the world of the American frontier in all its brutal, unforgiving reality. The film's exploration of these characters, particularly the moral dilemmas they face, adds layers to the narrative that challenge the audience to think deeply about the nature of conflict, redemption, and what it means to truly understand someone who has always been seen as the enemy. Hostiles leaves a profound impact on its audience, both through its stark portrayal of violence and its poignant exploration of redemption. The film immerses us in the harsh realities of the late 19th century, where survival often came at the expense of one's humanity. Yet, amid the brutality, the story dares to explore the possibility of reconciliation and healing, even between sworn enemies. This juxtaposition of violence and the search for redemption is what gives Hostiles its emotional weight and lasting resonance. Default text. The film doesn't shy away from the harshness of its setting. From the opening scenes, it's clear that this is a world where life is fragile and death is ever present. The violence in Hostiles is not gratuitous but serves to underscore the brutality of the frontier and the deep-seated animosities that have taken root in its characters. Director Scott Cooper does not hold back in depicting the grim reality of this era, but he also uses this violence to set the stage for the film's exploration of redemption. The characters, particularly Captain Joseph Blocker and Chief Yellow Hawk, are shaped by their experiences in this unforgiving landscape, and their journey together becomes a quest for something more profound than mere survival. It becomes a search for peace and forgiveness in a world that offers little of either. The film's message is one of hope amidst despair. At its core, Hostiles is about the possibility of finding common ground and the power of shared suffering to bring about reconciliation. The journey that Blocker and Yellow Hawk undertake is as much about overcoming the hatred in their hearts as it is about reaching their physical destination. Through their evolving relationship, the film suggests that even the deepest wounds can begin to heal if both parties are willing to confront their pasts and see each other as human beings rather than enemies. This message is powerful and resonates deeply, especially in a world where divisions and conflicts often seem insurmountable. The themes of reconciliation and healing are woven throughout the film, from the interactions between Blocker and Yellow Hawk to the broader narrative of the American frontier's violent history. The characters' struggles with their own demons and their eventual recognition of each other's humanity offer a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak world. This theme is further emphasized by the film's ending, which, without giving too much away, leaves the audience with a sense of hard-won peace rather than a tidy resolution. It's a fitting conclusion to a story that is as much about the internal battles of its characters as it is about the external conflict. On a technical level, Hostiles is a masterclass in filmmaking. Scott Cooper's direction is meticulous, capturing both the grandeur and the menace of the American West. His attention to detail is evident in every frame, from the authenticity of the period costumes and props to the stark beauty of the film's landscapes. The cinematography, by Masanobu Takayanagi, plays a crucial role in setting the film's tone, using the vast, unforgiving terrain of the frontier to mirror the internal struggles of its characters. The visuals are haunting, with the expansive, desolate landscapes serving as a constant reminder of the isolation and danger that define this world. Max Richter's score is another highlight, providing an emotional undercurrent that enhances the film's somber tone. The music is both haunting and beautiful, reflecting the film's themes of sorrow and redemption. Richter's compositions are subtle yet powerful, never overwhelming the scenes but rather complementing them in a way that deepens the emotional impact. The score, much like the film itself, is a study in contrast, soft yet intense, simple yet profound. The film's historical accuracy also deserves praise. Hostiles is not just a story set in the past, it feels lived in and real. The attention to detail in the costumes, the language, and the depiction of Native American culture shows a level of respect and dedication to portraying this period as authentically as possible. This meticulousness adds to the film's overall impact, grounding its themes of redemption and reconciliation in a tangible reality that makes the characters' struggles all the more compelling. In conclusion, Hostiles is a film that will resonate with viewers long after the credits roll. It's a story that challenges its audience to confront the darker aspects of human nature while also offering a glimmer of hope for redemption. Fans of westerns and historical dramas will appreciate the film's authenticity and attention to detail, while those who enjoy intense character studies will find much to ponder in the complex relationships between the characters. But beyond its appeal to specific genres, Hostiles is a film that speaks to universal themes of hatred, forgiveness, and the possibility of finding peace in the most unlikely places. I highly recommend Hostiles to anyone willing to engage with its challenging themes and complex characters. It's a film that doesn't offer easy answers, but instead invites its audience to reflect on the nature of conflict and the long, difficult road to reconciliation. In a world where divisions often seem insurmountable, Hostiles serves as a powerful reminder that understanding and healing, though difficult, are not impossible. This is a film that, much like its characters, refuses to shy away from the hard truths but ultimately finds beauty and redemption in the struggle.